Hello and welcome to another episode of What Travis Says, the only show on YouTube that knows where the Doctor keeps his extra set of TARDIS keys. My name is Travis, let's talk about Bill. It was just announced that future Doctor Who companion Bill will be the show's first openly gay full-time companion. Pearl Mackie, who plays Bill, said that representation is important, especially in a mainstream show such as Doctor Who. And that as a young mixed-race girl, she didn't see many people on the television that looked like her. She went on to say that being able to visualize yourself on screen is important. She stressed that being gay was not the main thing that defined her character, but that it was a part of her and that she was happy and comfortable with it. And I say good! Doctor Who has plenty of diversity, but it's awesome that they want to add some more to the show. As for what Mackie said about being able to recognize yourself on screen, I see plenty of white male protagonists. I have no problem with imagining myself in any fantasy world I see on screen or read in a book. That's why I'm all for diversity on any screen, because I want others to be able to recognize themselves in other characters. I want people who feel like they aren't highly represented in media to have someone to identify with. Representation is important because seeing other people who are like you as strong, independent role models lessens any insecurities that you may have. My one problem with this whole thing, though, is the reveal. I just feel like it's so early in the game, the season hasn't even started yet. The media makes a big deal out of things like this, and yes, representation is incredibly important. I just wish that it would have just happened naturally on the show and been kind of like a, oh, okay, well that's a character trait that we just found out naturally while watching the show. Every time the Doctor is about to regenerate and they do this whole big reveal on the next actor that's set to play the Doctor, there's a group of Doctor Who fans who clamor that they wish that that would have been the reveal on the show, that they don't want to know who's playing the Doctor until the regeneration happens and then pop a new actor. That is never going to happen. But this, I feel, could have been a wonderful reveal in the show. That being said, Pearl Mackie has stated that I think it's the second or the third thing that Bill says you realize that Bill is gay. The BBC has stated that they are not making a big deal about this in reality or in the show, but the fact that this was a big reveal now, before the season even started, is just kind of, nah. Now I know some of you are ready to comment down below. What about Jack? Jack was the first openly gay character on the show. What about Jack? Now wait. Don't comment just yet. You need to, wait, somebody already commented. Oh, it's not about Jack, they just misspelled first. Anyway, about Jack being gay. Technically, he was omnisexual. Push his nerd glasses up. And you could argue that Jack wasn't a regular companion of the show, but myself and a lot of others consider him a companion. But there's a big difference between Jack being omnisexual and Bill being gay. The difference being that Jack was openly omnisexual from a place and a time where that didn't matter. And Vostra and Jenny weren't technically companions, and they still had to keep their relationship a secret. You could say that it was because Vostra was a lizard woman, but they still had to keep their relationship secret because in the time that they were living, it was a crime. However, it really depended on who they were talking to and or trying to intimidate. Bill is from an era where being gay isn't completely 100% fully accepted. There's talk about how when Stephanie Meyer wrote the Twilight books, she went into incredible detail when describing Edward, but when she was talking about Bella, she left a lot of physical characteristics out of the descriptions. That way, any girl reading the story could imagine herself as Bella. And in the same vein, in the classic series of Doctor Who, there was no sexuality, there was very limited romance. You could imagine the characters however you wanted to behind the scenes. But is that enough? The show has evolved. There have been many more romantic entanglements. Remember that episode where Amy wanted to leave Rory for the Doctor? People upset about this whole Bill being gay thing have said things like, why does everything have to be about race? Why does everything have to be about sexuality? Why does everything have to be about political correctness? Rawr, 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 gnashing teeth, sour bitterness. This is an important milestone for the show, and whether you realize it or not, this will help a group of marginalized people. This character trait isn't about Bill being special. This is about Bill being normal. Gay people exist. It's an individual with attraction to another individual that isn't heteronormative, but it's still normal. This is a step in the right direction for helping represent everyday gay people that watch the television show. Remember that whole thing a few weeks ago? Oh, they're making one of the characters in Beauty and the Beast gay. this should not be a big deal. But we live in a world of bigots, so representation is important. Some fans will say sexuality doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's attracted to who, just as long as there's good plot, good character development, and I agree. Characters should be important aspects of the show, and their sexuality shouldn't be the only interesting thing about the character. However, to have someone who better represents you in a show that you enjoy is important. There were many mixed race girls that were already looking to Bill to be a great companion, and now she's getting a lot of attention from the queer community. And for having a gay character and people moaning about, oh, now they're just trying to be PC. What's PC about having a gay character? It's normal. Gay people are normal. Gay people exist. There is only one way that the plot will suffer because of Bill's sexuality, and that is if that's the only interesting thing about the character. But I have high hopes that that is not going to be the case. I believe Pearl Mackie when she says that it's just going to be sort of a touch-and-go thing. It's not going to matter that much. Take Captain Jack, for example. He was omnisexual and fantastic, but he was a fiercely loyal friend and a brilliant mind. His character evolved from being self-serving to being a self-sacrificing hero, sacrificing as much as he could without being able to die. In the comments down below, let me know your thoughts about Bill being gay. Do you think that she will help a marginalized group of people with having identification in this sci-fi world? Or do you think that making Bill officially gay is kind of forced? Let me know down below and let's have a conversation about it. As always, my name is Travis. Thank you for listening to what I have to say, and you will see me tomorrow.